All right. What's up, everybody? We've got Astrea in the top left side playing the balance test map up against Clem. That's right, guys. A PTR is live. Public test realm for the new StarCraft balance patch. It proposes a bunch of sweeping changes, which, admittedly, like most of the changes in the last few years, probably aren't going to change the bronze level players' core experience. But when it comes to mid, high level players, experienced players, there's a lot of incentive to do new things. There's a lot of interesting changes. Some things have got, well, actually, to be fair, it got announced about 24 hours from me casting this game, and so far the reception has been largely negative, vitriolic. People are mad, people are angry, and I guess I can't really summarize exactly why. I think there's one or two very good reasons people are angry, and maybe it's just people are bad at communicating. I just don't see too many people expressing those reasons. One is that they think the Protoss power level might be too weak. Feels like Terran and Zerg are getting some overall buffs, with some people saying Terran is getting the way better end of it. I think people are very afraid of the Liberator changes, but people are very scared for Protoss because that battery overcharge icon, that's not battery overcharge anymore, guys. That's energy recharge. It has a 1 minute global cooldown. You can use it from any Nexus, but then it's a global cooldown, and it will restore for 50 energy off the Nexus, 100 energy to any other spellcaster or building. So, I mean, you can use it on a shield battery. I don't know if you could use it on another Nexus. That would be kind of funny. You build a Nexus to give energy to double the energy on another Nexus. Not worth it at all. Much more useful for Oracle Sentries, High Templar, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Apparently, it can't be used on a Nexus, says chat. Well, I was wondering, can you use it on an ally's like command center and get 2 free mules in a TvP? Can someone test that? Someone get in the balance test map. Go test that out. I really want to find that out. It has a pretty short range. People are saying, I guess that's the range. Right there. You have to cast it near the Nexus. 8 range. I think it's the same as what Battery Overcharge's range was. That looks about the same. So that's going to be big. That is going to be big. And I really want to see how that gets used here by Astrea. Him and Clem have been off racing a lot in this matchup, but seeing them now playing back their main races has been huge. So we'll see what approach they do play. Other than that change, what else is big? Disruptor no longer one-shots Marauders or Roaches or Ravagers. It only does 100 damage. It still does the full damage versus Protoss. So it does like literally 200 damage versus Protoss units and 100 versus Terran and Zerg units, which is kind of hilarious. Like, Protoss are their own worst enemies, right? There's something poetic about that, right? Like, you know, they're really good at killing each other, but not that good at killing the enemy. But honestly, it is interesting because the Disruptor's getting a bit of its radius back. It's going to shoot a bigger area. I think because it's staying at 4 supply, it is a net negative, but oh, Clem loses his Reaper. That's not worth. Not for 1 probe. That's something Astrea is very happy with as he sends another Adept straight across this map. And he's going to get in here, but the SCV, can it finish the command center? Yes, it can. And look at that, guys. Popping in, popping out, just teasing that Adept. Oh, he gets too fancy. Clem gets a bit too fancy there. Loses the SCV. Very nice. Yeah, so the Disruptor's getting a bit of its radius back. The Tempest is going to go down from 5 supply to 4, but it is a bit more microable as well, which are 2 buffs. But then it has 1 less range against air, 14 down to 13. So it's not quite as oppressive at like picking off Vikings and Liberators and things from far away without getting hit in return. And it's funny because I feel like losing range is disastrous on the Tempest, but I think 1 range for 1 less supply and being more microable might be worth it. Anyways, let's talk about the game here. The Adept does go down, doesn't really get much damage, but he will get out of here. My big fear is without battery overcharge, because that's been removed and you've got this energy ability instead, aren't like heavy Cyclone Marine medevac pressures kind of a problem? And we're going to get to see that in this game. Cyclones, medevacs, Marines, all being built by Clem. So I'm really curious to see how that lines up, because the Oracle, that's the unit you want to start with. Oh, you forgot to get your energy, mate. You got to go get your energy. You see he's going to the Nexus? Plus 100 energy. That is crazy. 150 energy already, and because it's got a minute cooldown, you want to use this the moment your first Sentry Oracle pops out, and then use it a minute later on the next one or the one after that, and you want to keep topping up that energy, and you can use this to get instant storms on Warpins as well, which would be really nice. He sees the Cyclone move out. Oh, careful, Astrea, don't lose your unit. Okay, gets back to the high ground, but he's got to be careful. Nice tag there, and he could harass the worker line, but he's got to be very careful. He's going to go for the Marines. Okay, ambitious. He's happy to trade some hit points to get 2 Marines. I think that's worth it because anything to weaken this pressure. You've got a battery. Oh, also big change, guys. Batteries used to be 150 on the hit points and shields. You can see it's 200 now. So way tankier is the shield battery. And that makes a big difference. Remember how fragile shield batteries were getting? Like how often, don't get me wrong, shield battery overcharge was still decent, but it kind of felt like one of those things where, at least in my games as a pleb Protoss, if I didn't see the attack coming or I was slightly out of position, they just run in, click the shield battery, and it wouldn't really get to do anything. So you really needed to like protect your shield batteries very well, and there were times where it didn't achieve anything. So I think this ability is actually way more interesting. I thought it would be kind of niche, but look at this. Defensive stasis traps in worker line. So if you drop in here, we've got stasis traps around the bases. So you can spam stasis traps. And this is something we've been seeing so much of on this patch so far, is Protoss players just spamming stasis traps. Now, keep in mind, guys, the Liberator range upgrade has changed. It used to be called Advanced Ballistics. They're officially changing it to enlarged girth, I believe is what it's called. And basically, instead of increasing the siege up range, it's going to make the radius from the size of 5 to 6.25, which is like that. But it's massive. Basically, they're giving it a big girth upgrade. Chode libs, as Twitch chat calls them. Yeah. So I really hope we get to see that upgrade in this game as well, because technically the Liberator, I think, is a little closer to the action, but its circle is just so big, it's insane. Like, it's kind of crazy. Stalker's out front. Engorgement upgrade, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of, like, you guys remember, like, the old albino black sheep things? It's like I cast, you know what, of the infinite or whatever. You know, it's like basically, if Terran gets the fusion core, we know they're putting on their robe and wizard hat. Okay, guys, that's all. I'll leave it at that. Those who know. The younger people watching probably don't get the reference, or people who weren't, I guess, hanging out on the internet in the late 90s, early 2000s. Anyway, we've got Blue Flame on the way, guys. Now, Blue Flame has been changed. It now gives, I think it's like a slight bit more damage, +9 for the Hellion. It doesn't change the Hellbat damage, but it goes from +5 to +9, which means you're going to... Oh my god, big stasis trap! So you're going to two-shot enemy workers, probes, drones, SCVs, all of them are going to get two-shot by Blue Flame Hellions, which is going to be really interesting to see, because it's never in StarCraft's history have SCVs been two-shot by Blue Flame Hellions, and this is going to be the first time ever. Ooh, interesting fight there. Liberator's still sieged up in the main. You can see that's just a normal girth of that circle. Nothing too crazy. Stalkers on the front getting distracted right now. This game's getting intense. Oh, Storm! And of course you want to play Storm with this new energy upgrade, but he does lose 2 Stalkers on the front. Astrea and Trubs has to blink forward. Finally reclaims mining over his main, but these probes, he's lost like a minute of mining time. This is a real problem, Astrea. You gotta be careful, mate. There's a tank. Okay, he's just out of range. That's actually A-okay. Phoenix up there did clean up the medevac, I think it was, as well. End of the day, units lost tab's good for Astrea, so you might think Astrea's winning, but guys, he lost a minute of mining time in his main base. That was not fantastic for him, and I was going to say it's kind of unfortunate these stasis traps didn't do anything, but that's actually hilarious that Clem, on his retreat, ends up walking into the stasis traps, and Astrea might move out to try and contest, but no charge. Hello, Astrea, you forgot a key upgrade. Notice these Zealots are a little bit slow. They don't have shoes right now, mate. You got to get some shoes for those boys. He goes for +1 armor after +1 attack. I think he's just not looking at his army right now, and that's problematic, guys, to say the least. Bring it on that right side. He sends the Zealot there. These Zealots are awfully slow, Astrea. Come on, please, bro. Please, bro. You gotta make that upgrade, man. He's like, no, I don't want to have them charge away from my army and die, so I'm purposely... Come on, there's no way you go 10-gate charge and air weapons before making charge. Astrea, mate. Anyways, so Clem's got Blue Flame. Has he used it at all, guys? No. The answer's... Okay, he's building Hellions now. He's putting his factory on the reactor. His tanks are in like a reserve position now, so he always has a nice fallback point on the high ground. Very safe positioning on that. And I guess he's just going to try to dive Hellions into worker lines and find some damage here, there, and everywhere. Oh, for those who don't know, coolest change yet in this patch that we hopefully see this game, because... Yes, Fleet Beacon! I was seeing air weapons, so I was like, yeah, Fleet Beacon Stargate. Mothership has 4 attacks. In the current version of the stuff, not the balance attack, it has 4 attacks of 6 damage, and it just kind of goes zap, 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 so it does like 24 damage every couple seconds to a unit. The Mothership's attack is one of the most piss-weak things ever. Some people describe it as duct taping 4 sentries to a literal space barge, and then going, whoa, look at this. Like you can imagine a mothership flying towards you. Imagine this giant, imposing, planet-sized spaceship, and then it just starts blinking. Like, you know when the police pull you over and then they at night and they shine the friggin' bright torch in your eyes to like stun you a little bit? That's essentially what the mothership's weapon has been. Well, now it has 4 of those. 4 times 4 attacks. They do less damage. They only do 4 damage now. So it's doing like 16 damage, basically times 4 each time it attacks, but only on separate targets. It can't focus them. Hold that thought. Blue Flame! Blue Flame! Yeah! Take that, probes! Oh, look at Clem experimenting with the new units. 2 Hellions for a few probes. Not game-changing. To be fair, Astrea has too much map control. There's no other distraction. It's hitting very late in the game. But I like that he's building Hellions and seeing if he can find the value. So back to that point, guys. Basically, the mothership has effectively 3 times the total DPS, but it has to be spread across units, which means the mothership looks way cooler when it's attacking, and Mama is building right now, which is awesome. It also means it can actually kill a worker line pretty quickly, which is cool. I mean, it actually does some damage. Is it huge game-changing damage? No, but it does something. Minor mistake, Pig. It's 6 damage times 4 beams times 4 targets. Are you sure? I thought it was the old damage was 6 times 4, and now it's 4 times 4. I think you guys might be wrong. You guys let me know. Apparently does 24 times 4 damage spread across 4 units, multiple people are saying. Oh, the old damage was 6 times 6. Oh, so it's from 36 down to 24, but it's 24 times 4. So it used to be 36 damage against a single target. Now it's 24 times 4, which is, of course, way better overall if it's hitting multiple targets. That's awesome, guys. Sorry, guys, just had a very slight audio hiccup there. I realized there was an audio echo for those watching live, those watching on YouTube later. There was no audio echo because you guys get production. Me turning off audio tracks that I forgot to turn off on Twitch. My bad. Here comes the ghost, guys. EMP's looking good. High Templar out of energy. We need that instant storm. He has no storm. But wait, energy ability. Let's go. Energy ability. That High Templar now has 2 storms. Oh my god, and it lands. And the High Templar comes from the right at the same time. Oh, Clem kind of walks into a bit of a corner there. A bit of a screw up for Clem, and Astrea, with the quick storm recharge on the left and a rallying High Templar from the right, actually gets a very nice defense. That was awesome. I gotta say, I much prefer this ability. I hate battery overcharge, guys. I don't like, and I don't mean I hate it when I'm playing against people like, oh, you stupid Zerg play, you stupid Terran play. No. As a Protoss, I'm bad at using it. For those who don't know, because I'm a very Zergy player, I like to jump on my opponent's army and kind of ambush them. And I kind of play Protoss in the same way, where I try to like control space and ambush. I'm very rarely falling backwards behind a battery. There are times where I do it. I'm not saying I'm that terrible. Like, I am a GM player. I've been relatively high GM with Protoss. You know, I've taken maps off very good players. But it's definitely not my playstyle to hide behind a battery. When I watch Showtime, like, fighting at a shield battery and inching his way back step by step over like 6 minutes and zoning, him or Creator do that, and I'm like, oh, I want to get impatient and YOLO at a certain point. And I think this energy ability is going to be a little bit better for my style, personally, of fighting. Don't get me wrong, I do think it's overall not as good in certain situations. No. There's going to be people like, what you pig, I'm an angry idiot who doesn't know how to have any... You're saying it's better ability? No, I'm saying it's a more fun ability that fits my playstyle. Shut up, guy in the chat. You can't strawman me. I think there's way worse. There's situations where it's way worse, for sure. Defending certain pushes, definitely. Nice feedback storm combo. Clem a little slow on his EMPs. Clem too focused on his Hellion run-bys right now. Mate. He's building a lot of command centers, though, and that's going to give him a lot of longevity in this game. Where's Mama, guys? Where is she? She's just hanging. I want to see her new beams. Oh, wait, guys. Have they messed up on this version of the patch? I think, is this not the most recent? Isn't she meant to have 300... or 350 shields and 350 hit points now? She only has 250 and 300 there. I think this one might have been played on a test mod, maybe not on the PTR, so maybe it's not the most up-to-date changes in that one regard. Oh, look at its beams! Time Warp! Mama's gonna do an offensive recall on top of the army. Look at her beams! Oh my lord, she has so many beams. That's actually badass. I love it. I love it. I don't know if it's that impactful, but it just looks cool, and it feels like it actually fits the lore of like, yeah, it is dangerous to run underneath a goddamn planet ship. Yes. It's, you know... like, you know how carriers kind of feel like a Battlestar Galactica sort of thing? Like, yeah, Mothership feel actually a bit scary. That was cool, man. The Tempests are now out. Remember, these are only 4 supply, down from 5. They only have 13 anti-air range. The anti-air range is a little bit less, but they are more microable. Their attack point got reduced. Mama's going to clean up the Hellion run-bys. Effective Hellion harass from the Mothership. See, guys, it is a good... yeah. Now, to be fair, Mothership costs more... she's a bit tankier now. Do you guys confirm what her hit points and shields are meant to be in the chat? Can you guys confirm? I think it's meant to be 350, isn't it now? She's got 9 kills, which is cool. So, or damage point, not attack point, sorry. Ooh, big fights in the middle. I like that Astrea's still got 3 oracles and he's spamming stasis traps. I guess Tempests can get chased down, but by having stasis traps everywhere, it makes it hard to chase into that. Yeah, it's meant to be 350, 350. So it looks like this mothership is a little bit weaker than it's supposed to be. Dude, I love the activity on the Hellions, but look at that. Even stasis traps are defending them. To be fair, I don't know if Astrea's realized. He needs to get Mama on top of that, bro. You got to get Mama on top of that, mate. Send Mama. Send Mama. Okay, he's going to send just a few Stalkers. They'll eventually deal with it. We'll see if Clem micros it. Clem's Hellion harassment is non-stop. I love this. I love that he's just trying to make this work. He's like, yeah, I got 2 probes for those 4 Hellions, bro. I'm like, all right, I don't think the Hellions are being worthwhile, guys. The units lost tab tells us a story. The mothership's beams cannot hit the same target, guys. So it's good at like strafing through a mineral line or killing a bunch of different things, but it can't single DPS an enemy unit down. Otherwise, it would actually probably beat like a battle cruiser or something in a 1v1, I think, right? Well, no, not a battle cruiser, because high armor kind of wrecks its attacks, right? High armor kind of ruins the mothership's attacks pretty badly because it's so low damage, but lots of different little attacks. Oh, that just went down. Corruptors also will take very little damage from it because they got 2 base armor. Battlecruisers 3. The stasis spam is kind of hilarious, dude. Astrea's, I'm just like, they can all get scanned down at this point though. He's got 7 orbitals. This is bizarre. Now remember, guys, you can do supply drops that will instantly repair a depot to full hit points and add 100 to its total hit points, so it becomes a 500 hit point depot, which is fun. I think it might be kind of crazy when that gets used to hold it all in, but we'll see. We still haven't seen Liberator Girth yet, guys. Ghosts are coming in, though, and double armory upgrades to try and deal with the Tempest. Trying to go very Viking heavy. Doesn't really want to go Libs because the Tempest count is just so high, right? Needs to get the Vikings first and foremost. And these stasis traps causing a lot of problems. Planetary in the south getting siege right now. Ooh, okay. This is going to be interesting. Marine on the right side trying to clear it up. Mama's like, get out of here, idiot. She's going to roast that Marine. You see, single target's not that good. She takes 2 volleys to kill a Marine still. Even with +2 air weapons finished. +3 air weapons about to finish. +2 air armor on the way. More Stargates, Tempest, shield upgrades, Tectonic destabilizers. The +40 Tempest first. Building damage upgrades on the way. The Planetary in the south did get taken out. Do we still not have a fusion core, Clem? What is this? Dude, make Libgirth, please. He's going ship +3. Oh, Mama gets taken down. Those extra hit points and shields there would have made a difference. Clem's pushing the right. He's nuking the left side as well. Revelation comes down. Careful. Okay, the Ghost does go down before the nuke can land. Meanwhile, right side, Ghost Marauder pushing forward. Tempest, though, getting a few medevac hits. Nice Storm on the army. Tempest in the open. The Oracles fly forward and do get kind of wrecked a little bit, but there's not much Storm in here, so you got to be careful with how you fight this as Astrea. Does get some Cyclones that just rallied in from God knows where, and no High Templar in this scenario. He's got 2 High Templar on this left. I love this little bastion here. Stasis Trap, Battery Cannon, High Templar Fortress. Very nice. We've got 3 more Oracles burning time, 2 Disruptors, 3 Vikings, 5 Ghosts. What else has changed that I haven't mentioned, guys, that's being used in this game? You guys let me know if I'm missing anything. The Mothership does cost -400 now, guys, so the meme is back. Let's be real, that's the best part of this change, is just making the meme come back. -300 or -350 didn't quite have the same thing to it, did it? All right, Stalker's pulling back right now. Zealot's hanging out. Chat says, this is the most turtle TvP I've ever seen, and it's on the new patch. I mean, both players are clearly experimenting with new things. I don't think the guy going Blue Flame Hellion harass for 10 minutes straight was trying to finish the game. Let's be honest, guys. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm like, these guys are clearly trying to win a match for money. This clearly isn't just 2 guys trying out new units on the test map. Like, can we be honest for a second here? Guys, like, I'm not trying to sell this as the most competitive pro gamer tournament finals of all time. This is guys trying out new patch changes, quite obviously. Like, I'm going tons of spellcasters for the energy, tons of Tempest, says Astrea, off an Oracle opening. It's not like there's a gentleman's agreement, but they're not like, I'm just going to do a 3-Rex. And it's funny, because I was talking to Astrea yesterday on call. We had a long talk about the patch changes, his thoughts so far, and we were laughing about how the last big patch tournament, you know, Wardy does a balanced patch tournament, and Beyond made it to the finals, and he didn't use a single thing that changed. He 3-Rexed every single game. And I was like, yeah, this is why you don't invite Beyond to balanced tournaments. Like, you invite a creative guy like Astrea. Dude, that EMP! Astrea just got all of his Oracles EMP'd. Oh, no. That was when they changed the Cyclone, I'm pretty sure. It was the Cyclone balance one. And I was like, man, if I was Wardy, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, seriously, Beyond? You're going to 3-Rax every game? And he kept winning. He kept just hiding 3-Rax stim timings and, like, stimming up people's ramps and winning. And I was like, I get it. There's money on the line. It's fair enough. We can't blame him for it. You know, Beyond's just a sweaty tryhard. But it is what it is. All right, Viking count's crazy. It's 23 Vikings. Oh, Liberated Girth is on the way, guys. Liberated Girth and Caduceus Reactor have both started up on the Fusion Core. Clem trying to get those late game upgrades, but the Vikings are actually doing pretty well here. You know, it's good to have the Tempest a bit more microable, because remember the Vikings became more microable, so this is going to add a higher skill ceiling to the late game Tempest control, which is really cool, and allow them to dance with the Vikings a bit more, even though they've got that one less range. I think most players are saying it feels more microable. I'm still on the fence about it. I think it's probably better for the Tempests, one less supply and a bit more microable, but we'll see how it goes. Disruptor shot. Remember, the Disruptors have more radius. Now, I haven't really been focusing on the Disruptors. Remember, the Disruptors don't one-shot Marauders, guys. They leave them on 5 hit points. So Marauder has 125 hit points, and if it stims, it takes 20 damage. So it goes down to 105 hit points, and the Disruptor shot only does 100 to non-Protoss units. So far, I've noticed no difference, because Ghosts have 100 hit points, Marines have like 55 with combat shields. Both those units are just getting one shot as always. Liberator comes in. Oh, Lib Girth isn't upgraded yet, guys. Wait. When the upgrade kicks in, does this circle just get bigger without it resieging? I guess it does. Oh, dude. I want to watch when that upgrade finishes. Please don't clean this up. No, Astrea! I want to see it Lib Siege go through the transformation. Damn it. I wanted to see him become a grower, not a shower. Anyways, Vikings pulling back. A few Oracles go down. Nice micro for Clem now. He's still way down in the units lost. Disruptor radius. Probably wouldn't have got that Ghost on the old Disruptor. But I really want to see it hit a Marauder and see the Marauder survive. That's like the main thing I'm waiting out for right now, guys. Stasis Trap is here. Ghost landing a few EMPs. Ooh. Okay, Stormy. But Ghost being a bit of a nuisance. He's going to get a High Templar. No detection there for Astrea for a moment. Costs him. Cannon's helping out on that side, though. Nuke on that. Yeah, Nuke's a good choice there. Now, guys, Libgirth has a finish, but there's only one Lib on the map. It's just coming out now from the production. Disruptor. Oh, the Disruptors. Oh, I just saw a Marauder survive on red hit points, guys. It was under the Vikings, so not the most graphical, cinematic, easy to see thing, but Flanking Storm comes in from the cannons, does zone Clem out. Ooh, Liberator does go down as well. Clem dancing in and out. Dude, Clem's so ridiculously good at using this army. I feel like what he's doing right here is a death sentence for anyone that's not Clem. Just being this far forward with such a small chunk of bio on its own with like a few Vikings seems crazy. Disruptor's going forward. Disruptor's not landing. That Disruptor's definitely not landing. Oh, big nuke clearing the cannons. Oh, Clem's going to dive. Dude, Clem's army is so small. There's more, like two times as many Stalkers as he has units. Clem's just a crazy guy. Oh, he does cop a big Disruptor shot to the face there. But I think with no more splash damage, Astrea doesn't want to risk fighting into it. Oh, those Ghosts walking in accidentally. Bit of a mistake there for Clem, who's now making 5 orbitals in this corner. Oh my god, he's going full Beyond. For those who don't know, Beyond famously in a recent match made 24 command centers in one game. Objectively too many, to the point where you're wasting too many resources on command centers and you can't rebuild your army. But it was funny. Clem, not quite that far just yet, but he is going very high. Ghosts trying to fight. Clem needs to back off and give up this base, dude. Oh, decent spready, but once again, Ghosts barely getting clipped. It feels like at the highest level, this Disruptor radius is actually going to really matter. Because it just gives that edge of range. Whereas so many high-level players have just been barely dodging it, and maybe they're going to struggle with that now. Now, where's Mama? Mama didn't get rebuilt. She died only once. Astrea was like, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Let's do it. Stalker's dancing. Ooh, oh, a couple Ghosts and a Marauder go down. The Marauders are actually not fully healed, so they are getting one-shot by the Disruptors. Yeah, I don't know if you notice the Disruptor damage against the Marauders as much. I think you'll notice it a lot more against Roaches and Ravagers, because they have a bit more hit points. Well, the Roaches especially have a bit more hit points than the Marauder. And because of the lack of stim, Ravagers have 15 more hit points, 105 hit points versus 120. Ravager 145 hit points, it's 40 more hit points. So I think we'll notice it a lot more in those scenarios. Oracle still spamming says. Now, just remember, guys, with the energy ability, it's a global cooldown. You can only use it near a Nexus. So once you cast it, you can't cast it off any other Nexus for another minute. But I think Astrea's been really good at spamming that ability, trying to kind of build that macro cycle. And that is what I call Girth, ladies and gentlemen. That is Liberated Girth right there. The Girth has kicked in, and Clem asserts dominance over that expansion. He says, look, if you snipe this orbital, so be it. In the meantime, I am going to drop 12 mules and mine out so much of this minerals. But, oh, his drop gets caught. He unloads on the army like a mad lad. Viking Lib coming in. Girthy Siege. Girthy Sieges. He's got a lot of Libs. He's looking for the Girthy Sieges, but he can't do it. The Storm zones him out. EMP does land on the High Templar, though. And Astrea's going to pull back to the high ground, a wise choice. He's got some Zealots and Probes here thinking about dealing with his base. They're running back and forwards, realizing, though, they are intimidated by that Girth. Much like when you're standing next to a urinal next to an extraordinarily well-hung gentleman. You could see Astrea was intimidated for a little bit, but he said, you know what? Call in reinforcements, and then he did take on that fight. Nice feedback on one of the ghosts. I think a storm on the libs and the Vikings might have been better, and a nice girthy reinforcement here for Clem. I like how I said versus, you know, like you're versing people at the urinal. Talks a lot about my mindset, guys. I'm not going to say I'm the guy who tries to urinate higher than another gentleman. I'm not going to say it's a competition, but let's be honest, we all know it is. Down here in the bottom side, the Liberator's coming forward. Storm, storm, storm. Astrea, no storm. Does get sniped. He's going to take out the units on the top. Gets a full medevac before the pickup can get out of here, though. Hot diddly damn. Stalker, Archon, Disruptor, Tempest doing what they can. There's still a cloak ghost there just slowly firing away, but one ghost is not going to clear all that. High Templar's coming down. He goes for the feedback storm combo. Does it get it? Yes, it does. Just barely. The last tick of damage. Barely gets it. Oracle tags the ghost. The ghost does go down. Astrea's cleared the top base. Units lost time is 20,000 in favor of Astrea. Wowzers. I think Clem, since he lost that first push when he kind of cornered his own army, has not had the best army control. I think just the number of... I think what he's got is stasis trauma, guys. So if you get hit by a stasis, it's kind of like getting put in the naughty corner. And if you get put in the naughty corner enough as a Terran, you really do feel like a child who's being punished. Oh my god, that Disruptor just took out like 14 ghosts. Maybe not 14, but like 5. The Liberator siege up is big. The nuke does take out some of these cannons, forces Astrea back temporarily. Tempest, though, picking off some libs. Oh, gotta be careful of those Vikings, though. The Vikings do take out a Tempest, but the Stalker's playing forward. Good micro on both sides. This is awesome to watch, man. It's kind of funny because we are watching a very, very late game sort of efficiency type matchup, but it's been very active. Lots of poking and prodding on both sides. Lots of constant fighting. Disruptors going out there, trying to take things out. Stalker's blinking forward. Is that a mistake? No, Astrea just has the numbers. I think he just has the numbers. He definitely got the bank for the Remax, the Archon cleansing those Vikings, and Clem just had no money in the bank. So even with all of his orbitals, if he doesn't have one actively muling that base or this base, he cannot reproduce. And Astrea, that grossly more efficient. 21,000 resources in the units lost. And I got to say, I really enjoy it. I'm sure if Clem was being a bit more competitive, he'd be like, look, TvP is a very momentum-based matchup. I don't know if those 19 Blue Flame Hellions were worth the 41 probe kills he got this game, guys. I think a lot of those probe kills came from Liberators. I don't think the Blue Flame Hellion, I think it'll have its place, especially against Zerg, maybe against Terran sometimes, like a cheeky mech Hellion Blue Flame opening, Blue Flame drop, but against Protoss, in this scenario, didn't work out. I do love the Oracle stasis spam, the High Templar refilling the energy. Mothership attack looks really cool, though it looks like in this version our hit points and shields weren't quite correct, so they need to buff that up. Tempest, we saw 15 Tempest die for 56 Vikings this game. They did feel very mobile, and I think that's good. I think having a bit more of a back and forth dance rather than it feeling like Tempest is shooting you from too far, probably a healthier interaction for the game, and definitely something with a higher skill can work in. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this little showcase. We're going to be trying to get more competitive games, players from, masters up over the next few days, but especially pro players like this whenever we can, and trying to cast as many on the new proposed balance changes as possible. And I really want to see like heavier cyclone pressures cause more issues for the Oracle opening and avoid the stasis traps. I really want to see like the full test of like Protoss in the early game versus Terran, early 2 base pushes. How do you survive those without the battery? Can you make up for it with the early energy ability? Only time will tell. See you guys in the next one. GG, well played. Good night.